Hi, everybody. Buonasera. Good evening. I'm on a few minutes early. I figured I'm just going to come and test things out and make sure that everything's ready for me. So, we'll see how everything works. So, anyway, but here we are, and I'm hoping that a bunch of you will sign on. So we shall see. So we're just going to hang out here for a minute, and because we're not starting till 7, I'm not going to get ahead of the game. Just came on early to see if I'm streaming in all the right places because I had a live get together at my house recently, and a bunch of people locally said that they couldn't make it, so they wanted to do something, but I really don't have time to do a big event right now because I'm actually going back to Italy soon. So, hi everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Glad to see people are signing on. So we're a little early. I know some of you, because you're already on my page, you get the notification when I go live, so that's cool. But we're not going to start for a few minutes because I want to make sure that lots of people. Hi Judy, hi Keith, hi Mary Lee, hi from high school. Donna, hi Christina. I'm going to see her soon. Hi Pia. Oh, I'm so happy there's a bunch of people on. So this tonight is strictly mainly about the trips to Italy. So I hope that you will all enjoy, want to know a little bit more about this. So I'm glad that you all are here. So we are going to definitely, learn some stuff. Hey B, you know who I'm talking to. Hi Christine, hi Carla, hi Karen. So anyway, well, we have 3 minutes. So you all get a glass of water. I have my big giant water because I'm always drinking lots of water. They make fun of me in Italy because ciao Anna. They make fun of me in Italy because I'm a water drinker. I don't just drink it because it's healthy. I mean, I drink it because I like it. And they're like, you can't just have water. And I'm like, yes, I can. Hi, Cheryl. And so, yes, I'm an aquaholic. So anyway, it makes me happy. So, why don't you guys, while we're waiting for the actual start time, why don't you guys write in the chat where you're watching from? I mean, some of you I know. I know Carla's in Pennsylvania, and Brian is right near me. But and Anna, you're in Seattle, right? Must have wine in Italy. Absolutely. I know I do drink my wine with dinner, but I don't I just I don't know, I like my water. So get ready and make sure that you guys all have your questions. I'm going to do a run through, and then anybody's got questions about the trips and about, we are going to talk a little bit about the Roseto effect. Oh, from Connecticut. Hi Connecticut. And Roseto PA, the other Roseto, the second one. And I'm going to tell you guys what it's like in the first Roseto, in the original one, in Foggia, province of Foggia, in the region of Puglia, Italy, the heel of the boot. So, oh, there you go. Fill Powerade bottles with water. Hi, Carmela. Carmela is coming on this trip, and so is, who else was on here that said there? Judy. Judy's coming. So this is exciting. So, I mean, I've talked to you guys before, so I'm sure that you know most of what you want to know. But in case somebody else asks a different question, it's always good to have lots of questions. Hi, Tess. Hi, Patty. So anyway, all right. Well, it's 6:59. And yes, Tess is coming on the October trip. That's right. So very exciting. So, all right. It is 7 o'clock, people. And I said that I was going to go live at 7 to talk about the Italy trips. So here we are. So I was going to do a Zoom, but not Zooms are kind of hard to log into sometimes, or some people don't know how to do it. And I figured, you know what? I'm just going to do it live on my page. If people are here to look at cooking, you can look at it later. If you want to hear about the trips, here we are. So anyway, for those of you who don't know me, if there's actually, I don't know if I see any, there might be a couple names here, I don't know. But so I'm Dorina, and my mission in life is to get people to cook so that we can get families back to the table. There's a thing called the Roseto effect, which is the phenomenon by which people live longer, healthier, happier lives by way they live in community. And it was born from the original Roseto in Italy, who were the first immigrants who came to America, went to Pennsylvania and started a town and named it after the hometown in Italy, Roseto Valfortore, and then Roseto, Pennsylvania. But Roseto has enclaves of our immigrants in Roseto, Pennsylvania, which were the first ones, in Akron, Ohio, in Washington, D.C., in Toronto, Canada, and then smattered all over the United States, Canada, Australia, Argentina, Venezuela, and all over Europe and everything. We've got Rosetans everywhere. So anyway, but we are the example, if I may say so myself. Roseto is the example of the way you should live your life. We're lucky that we, as in me being a Rosetan and other people who are, our town happened to have people that came here and ended up being where they were and started a town. So it was an outlier community, as we are in the book Outliers. We are mentioned, we are in the introduction. And it could have been, honestly, people from any of those little villages in southern Italy where they all basically live this way. We just happened to be the example. So, that's how it happened. So anyway, so I started doing trips. It started out as culinary trips. Hey, Marianne. It started out as culinary trips because I was teaching people how to cook. And then it became more than that. It became cultural. It became heritage. I realized that who I am and where I'm from gave me a reason to share all this. I think we can save the world by being the example. And the more people that come with me, just realize before we get into me telling you about the trips themselves, that if you come on a trip with me, you then become, by default, you become an ambassador of the Roseto effect. You are now part of the movement, and we are going to make this world a better place just by visiting a town in Italy. So anyway, so my trips start like this. They're 10 days long. I started doing them. They were 8 days and nobody wanted to leave. So I made them 10 days and still nobody wants to leave. But you're on your own after 10 days. I'm done taking care of you. So anyway, no, they're 10-day trips, and it's a great length. We always start on a Friday, and we have 2 weekends, and then we go through to the following Monday. So it's really nice. And we do everything that's very natural and very organic. We're a little village in the mountains. We're in northern Puglia, which is still very southern Italy. But southern Puglia is kind of known for its beaches and all that. Northern Puglia is more mountainous because the south is more flat. And so the mountains are dotted with all these little villages. And it's kind of like the forgotten area. And so I take people there because it's not forgotten to me. And we have so much to show and so much to share, and so many people in the States are from this area. It's kind of like South Central of Italy there, and it's a lot of kind of forgotten towns. And I ran through a town one time. I drove through it in the middle of the night by accident. It's a long story. Anyway, it was an abandoned village, and I was just like, freaked me out. And I'm like, oh, but then after I was like, no, I don't want this to ever happen to my town. So I hope that I'm giving something back to the town as well when I take people there, because we give a little bit of life to the town. So anyway, so during our 10 days, well, first of all, our trip starts the minute you land in Italy. I encourage everybody to fly into Naples, and we pick you up right at the airport. I've got the cutest driver, Donato. He's my favorite, and he's listed actually in my phone as Donato, my favorite. He loves it. Anyway, he went to school with my kids, so he's a nice young man. Anyway, so Donato, and then of course sometimes his dad, who is my friend, who was in my class. He one of the two of them, but they look like they're twins, father and son. Anyway, so they pick you up at the airport and bring you to me. I'm waiting for you in the village, and we start. So everybody stays in nice B&Bs in the village. Yeah, he's Carla's favorite too, right? Okay, sorry. So also basically, let me stay with Donato for a minute. all transportation is included throughout the trip. So coming from the airport, going back to the airport, and all of our excursions and in between. Then we, everybody stays at nice B&Bs in town. None of them are more than like 10 years old. So they're really newer, they're modern, they're beautiful. There's one at the top of town that has beautiful views looking down. There's another one in the middle of town that looks out the other way. So each one has its beauty to it. There's some that are in the old part of the town that are inside the castle walls. So that's another different feel. So anyway, so everybody has in B&B, so that means all the breakfasts are included. And the one is above the bakery, everything's homemade that you get for breakfast. So anyway, so we've got transportation down, we've got accommodations down. This is all included. We do 5 cooking classes. I guarantee 4, just in case something strikes our fancy that we want to do something different. So I guarantee 4, but we most of the time do 5. And everybody always wants to. So don't think that that's a lot, because I used to say, is that too much? And everybody's like, no. So it's not too much. But I do leave some leeway for, and you never know, an individual group we might find something else to do. And this is the beauty of this trip. And I'll come back to part of that reasoning afterwards. Anyway, so the cooking classes, let's talk about that for a minute. So our cooking classes are, a couple of them are with my cousin Giuseppe, who is a chef. And, he's adorable. So who can say who's met Giuseppe? Carla has, Marianne has. Oh, best cooking classes ever. Thank you, Marianne. Let's see who else here has been on my trip before. Did I see any names besides Carla and Marianne? Well, anyway, just somebody give me a okay, he's my favorite. Oh, that was the Donato. But anyway, so Giuseppe is adorable, and he's a very utmost professional, but he teaches really truly authentic of the town and of the region foods. Then the other 2 classes are with mamas from town. Most of the time, most of you guys know Pina, but we call her Pinuccia. It's more lovey. Anyway, Pinuccia is one of the best cooks I know. She's done some. I've had some other ladies who've done some before, and those are the kind of more earthy, like the ones with chef are at the bakery. We make a little classroom in the back of the bakery or some other kitchen. And then we have the other ones with Pinuccia, and these are more like the town, like really, I'm going to say, and I know some people get mad at me when I say this, but kind of like the peasant dishes, things that are very traditional to the town, the homemade pastas, making the shapes that are very specific to the town and the region. So it's really wonderful. And it's a lot of fun. And what I have to say about the cooking classes, okay, I know people that have done cooking classes in other parts of Italy, and it's a great experience, but it's not something anybody's ever going to make again, because sometimes it's too complicated, it's too fancy. Everything we make is easily reproducible, and you can turn around and make it at home. And I've had so many, I can prove it because I've got photos of people who have sent me pictures. Look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made. Look, I made it again. So, who's making the focaccia, who's making the taralli, who's making the cavatelli and making the homemade pasta. So it warms my heart. And I love when, I love when people take it and run with it. That makes me happy. Okay, so that's the cooking. And then, of course, we're making meals for ourselves. So even on the day that's where sometimes the cooking classes get a little freelance, because we have specific recipes that we learn. But like, for example, we can't make a meal out of cookies and taralli or whatever. So we always make our dinner also. So then that ends up being, and that's not something I can hand you the recipe for, because he decides what he's going to make out of what's fresh at that moment. So we take notes and we go from there. So anyway, but all the other standard, the main recipes that we do, everybody gets the recipes. So then we do take 2 days and we go out of town. So let me tell you about those real quick. One day we go to the nearby city of Lucera. Lucera is a very ancient city with a very interesting history. And I'm not going to tell you now because, if you want to look it up, it's Lucera, Lucera. Let me write it down here so you can see. And that's a province of Foggia, FG. So let's see how I do that. Wait a minute. There's a way for me to do it. Oh, create a banner. Here we go. Lucera. See, this is kind of, I love this app because I can put it up there. This is the town we go to, Lucera. And then we go to, there's ancient Roman amphitheater there that is older than the Colosseum in Rome. It's really cool. And so we go there, and nobody's ever there. It's just us. It's over 1,000 years old. But anyway, this area is not a touristy area, so there's not people that are there. Like if you go to the Colosseum in Rome, you're going to wait 4 hours in line, and so we don't have to do that. Let's see, Monte. I'm writing these down so that you can what do you call it? Read them, and if you want to look them up, then you can do that. And okay, so anyway, I'm going to take Lucera down now. But so we go to Lucera, so we go to the amphitheater, then we go to sometimes we go to the Duomo. The Duomo is the big cathedral where there's a giant piazza. It's always in the summertime, man. It's bustling at night. It's lots of activity. There's restaurants and bars and things around, and just all the chairs outside. People just love the outdoor life there. So then we will do some of that. We'll see a couple of things in the town, and then I usually, most of the time, it works out as long as my other things that we have to do that day all coincide. Then we do it on a Wednesday, because the Wednesday is the market in Lucera. Now we have the market in Roseto, which is Saturday morning, and we are in town 2 Saturday mornings. So if you see something on the first Saturday and you want to wait till the second Saturday, then you get a chance to see, or get something that you wanted to get if you wanted to buy something, or just walk around and be part of the connections of people walking around. Then we hit the big market, and then for lunchtime, after lunch, a little bit like around 1-ish or so, we go for lunch at a local winery, Cantina La Marchesa. There's some of my favorite people, Marica and Sergio, and it's a family-run business. They do everything by hand. They trim all the grapevines by hand. They're very, very proud of the work that they do. And then, of course, they make us this wonderful spread, this wonderful luncheon there at the winery. And they, of course, pour lots of wine. Yum. It is so good. So anyway, and that's that day. So, and we're happy that we have Donato to drive us back to town, because otherwise, we'd be sleeping. So anyway, next, other thing we do. Okay. So if it's a summer trip, so now I'm going to have a trip now in June and July. If anybody wants to go, I still have a couple slots left. We go to a beach called Matinatella. It's a fraction of Matinata, which is known a little bit more than Matinatella, which is a little one. And it is this beautiful beach in a cove, and you don't have to pick between mountains and water, because the mountain is kind of fallen into the water, and there's caves, and they have paddle boats. You can go out in the water and all that kind of stuff. So it's a beautiful, beautiful beach. I personally spend all day in the water, because the water is so salty, and it's the Adriatic, that you can not stand, because you're not touching bottom, but I mean, you can, but you just sorry. Okay. But you're upright and you're floating. You don't have to lay back to float. It is like you're just suspended. I love it. It is, I don't know, to me, it's like life-giving. It's amazing. Anyway, if you go on a fall trip, or if it's too cold to go to the beach, we go to San Giovanni Rotondo and Monte Sant'Angelo, which are 2 other cities that are also on the Gargano. So that beach that I was just telling you about is on the Gargano, which is the spur of the boot of Italy. And they say that it was once an island that attached itself to the side of Italy. And it makes sense, because when you're driving out there, everything changes. The whole terrain changes. We come out of these rolling like these soft mountains, and then all of a sudden there's these rocky, craggy mountains, and these white, beaches and rocks and just stuff. And it's just a whole different, you feel like you're in a different world. and it's kind of like a Greek island, Italian island. But anyway, that, so you feel like you're somewhere else. And so the beach is gorgeous. Where we go to these two towns, Monte Sant'Angelo is way high. We're going zigzag like this up the mountain. It's crazy. But anyway, so that's that. Let me take these banners off. Take that off, and let me get back to the comments, see if anybody has a question. So in the meantime, as I'm going here, if you have a question, throw it in the comments now so that I can, answer whatever you need to once I stop talking too much and answer questions. So now we have, those are our days out of town. So, and I didn't really tell you about Monte Sant'Angelo and San Giovanni Rotondo. So when we go there, and that's usually in the fall trip, San Giovanni Rotondo is where Padre Pio, Saint Pio, served. So if you look up San Pio, Saint Pio, you will see, you learn a little bit about him. He was an amazing human being and was very loved and highly regarded in our area as well as in the world. And then Monte Sant'Angelo has a sanctuary that's in a cave that Saint Michael the Archangel appeared in. So talk about a place where you walk in and you just feel the holy. It is a beautiful. First of all, it's just, you walk in there and you're like, wow. It's not huge, but it's big enough. And the ceiling is all this big cave, and it's just like so pretty. And so anyway, and then of course there's, stone statue carvings. Everything's made out of stone. It's just really pretty. So, and then that whole town is just beautiful. So we walk around there a little bit. There's a lot of cool shops and get, some very typical of the area things. Like I get my ceramics, my cups and things that I love. So I make some of my big platters and dishes. I love that old design that is typical of the area. So, and so let's see. And then of course, we do a couple other things in town. There's, a couple social clubs that we spend the evening with. One of them's I call them the old guys club. That's the Consulto degli Anziani, and they have they have a clubhouse, and they make us, a bunch of guys, they make us dinner and they pour the wine, and then the next thing they are they start to bring out the guitar and they start singing, and it's just like this very peasant, earthy, fun evening, and everybody just loves it. And then the other club in town as well that kind of gets together and always has like a little kind of a potluck. All the people, it's more like more women, and so they all make stuff and bring it over, and we're crammed into this little room, and everybody just loves it. It's just like, because it's so natural. It's beautiful. So anyway, amidst all the crazy running around we do, which isn't really crazy, there's time to walk around the village. There's time to just sit in piazza in the town square and have a coffee and a cornetto. Cornetto is kind of like an Italian version of a croissant. They're not as soft because they're more crunchy, crispy on the outside, but they're soft on the inside. And they're more filled. They got cream or Nutella or pistachio or whatever inside. They're so yummy. Anyway, so there's time to do that. There's time to just be part of the village. Because I tell people, it's not like you're looking in the snow globe. Okay. We get inside the snow globe. You are part of the fabric of the town once you spend some time there. So I see a bunch of questions here. So anyway, real quick, before I get to the questions, we also do a walking tour of town. So you get to see all the nooks and crannies and all the cool old ancient stuff that is just in this little teeny village of 1,000 people. So it's really wonderful. And we have, and again, it's very, very real. One time I took somebody to Capri and we went out for lunch. It was $300 for lunch. I can get the same thing in the village for like 30. So anyway, so my prices are good. So let me ask, I'll tell you that in a second. I'm working my way. I'm tantalizing you first. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So let me look at these questions here. Do we go to the market to go shopping for our cooking lessons? Not always for the lessons, but sometimes for the stuff that we do together. Sometimes because sometimes we have a picnic ourselves. Sometimes we do go to the market. And so, we kind of do some of that stuff. chef isn't usually there in time to go get stuff. And Pinuccia, when she makes stuff, it's not bought at the market. She gets it all from her own land. So, and it's, her own, everything she makes us, her own animals, like chickens she's killed that morning. I mean, it's like, I'm talking, you don't get more Southern Italian peasant village than that, So anyway, so sausages that she makes, cheese that she makes from her goat milk, everything. The pasta's homemade while we're learning how to make the pasta. So that's, so sometimes we do some shopping for the things that we do, not with necessarily with the classes, but we're always doing some learning. So, okay. Karen, I'm going to come back to the cost thing in just a second. What about tipping? Should we plan to tip drivers like Donato? Tipping is not mandatory. And it's not expected, but it is appreciated. So it's strictly up to you. If you feel, and this is what I tell everybody, if you feel that you got exceptional service and you choose to give somebody something, whether it's 5% or 50%, not 50%, but anyway, that's strictly up to you. And like I said, it's not expected and it's not mandatory, but it's anything like that's always appreciated. That's just a given. So that's strictly up to you. Some people do and some people don't. Some people give a lot, some people give a little, some people give a gift. I'll come back to gifts later. Anyway, should we bring our own aprons for the cooking lessons? Oh, Tess, don't mess up my surprises. I'm not even going to give you an answer to that. No, don't bring an apron. What about downtime? Okay, I do think I kind of partly talked about downtime. There is some free time between what we do. And also, I'm going to say that nothing is mandatory. So if you want, okay, nobody wants to, but if you wanted to skip a cooking class, or if you wanted to, do something like, I'll give you some examples. Okay, one time somebody wasn't feeling good. They were just, I don't know if it was after the trip or whatever. They weren't feeling good, so they came down to a cooking class late. Another time there was some free time. So one lady wanted to go to the pool. We do go in the summer trip. We do go to the town pool. We have a town pool that's right on the side of the mountain, and you feel like you're in a resort because it's all made of stone and you're just looking out into the mountains. There's no pool that has a view like this. Okay. Anyway, this one lady wanted to go down to the pool again. So she, took some of the afternoon instead of nap time, which I encourage people to do, especially in the summer, because we have things we want to do at night. We want to be in Piazza hanging out. So you want to be awake. But she wanted to go down the pool. So she went to the pool a second time. Another time when we went into the city, there was two ladies, they were cousins, and they weren't really interested in the amphitheater. So they were like, can we just walk around town here and shop a little bit in these shops? I said, sure. I said, we'll see you back right here at this spot in an hour. So that's what we did. And so I'm flexible. I'm a nice mom. I'm good with, switching some stuff around if need be. I have to switch things around all the time because this town is not a tourist destination. It's not, they're not waiting for us like vultures, waiting, like in Naples, for example, they're waiting for the tourists to get off the cruise ships. And they're like, here, buy this, buy that. You don't see that here because this is not a tourist place. So their main income is not from tourism. And I bring a few people at a time. My groups are 12 to 14 max. So unless it's a private group, if somebody wants to talk to me, if you have a family or something, you want to do a big group of your own, then I will, entertain that thought of doing that just for you guys. And that would be at a separate time from my regularly scheduled trips. But that's something that, needs to be talked about and planned. So I will do that. I forgot where I was. Anyway, so let me go back. Do we hang out in the piazza in the evenings? What about if we have rainy days? Hey, you know what? A rainy day in Italy is better than any day at home. So don't even worry about it. In the summer trips, there's very little rain. This spring, there's been a lot of rain, but they haven't had rain like this in like 200 years. So most of the time it's not as wet as it was this spring. The fall, I've had groups that have come in the fall that have been sunny the whole 10 days like this past fall. Perfect weather. It was raining up until the day before the group got there, and it was perfect weather from the day they got there to the day they left. Then, but the year before, it rained 7 out of the 10 days. Not all day, every day, but it rained and gloomy 7 out of the 10 days the group was there. But guess what? We still had a great time. So, it's Rain is rain. We can't, that is something that none of us can control. But a summer trip, there's almost never rain. Okay, let me see here. Time to do stuff on your own, which kind of goes with the downtime. Yes, there is time. If you want to go take a walk and read a book down at the bottom of town, we have the coast. And I'm not going to tell you about, I thought you can go down, you can go on my Facebook page, Dorina's Kitchen on Facebook, and you can go to the photos and you can see tons of pictures and all that kind of stuff. And there's some on my DorinaSKitchen.com website, but I want you to come and see it in person. So anyway, let's see. So there is some downtime. There was, let's see, another question here. I hear, let's see. Oh yeah, Capri and Positano, exactly. Lots of dollar signs, that's for sure. Extra charge for solo travelers. There is a small extra charge for solo travelers, but I guess I shouldn't say solo travelers for, single rooms, but believe me, it's not the same amount as is on other trips I've seen recently. I've seen single supplements be $800 to $1,000, and that's crazy to me. So anyway, okay, so let me tell you guys how much this trip costs. What I'm going to give you right now is this year's cost, because my costs went up this year, and I did not raise my prices, but we're probably gonna have to raise them a little bit next year, but they're not going to go up more than a couple $100. So that's it. So that's not an exorbitant amount, but this year the price is $36.95. It's a 10-day trip. Everything's included, except now I'm going to say this very loosely. I say that I don't include one meal a day. We usually end up throwing in some extra meals. So because of that, it's less than one meal a day that you're responsible for per se. I do that only because I thought about it, could I raise it up a little bit and just include everything? But here's the way it works. Sometimes we eat so much, like, especially after we've had one of our classes with Giuseppe, and we've got all these goodies and desserts and this and that, we're stuffed. And so at night, nobody wants anything anyway. So if I raise the price to include those extra meals, it may not be needed, and then I'm just raising the price for no reason. If you want a meal in town, so let's say we've had a big lunch and you want to have a little something for dinner, honest to goodness, you can get the most beautiful, let me tell you, you got to have a pork chop when you're over there. Pork over there tastes better than pork over here. I think they feed the pigs even better than we feed people. Anyway, pork chops, a steak. Now, they don't have the same cuts of meat the way we do. They're completely different, but you got to try them, and they're really yummy. Anyway, but you can get a full meal with wine for like 10, 15, $20, depending on what you want on the menu. There's a few things, some of the menu items, depending we have 2 restaurants, but you can get a full meal, no kidding, for like $15. It's crazy. So, I don't include one meal a day. There might be a husband and wife who want to have a date night and they want to go to the other restaurant, or you might want a steak and they want a pizza or whatever. So I leave a little bit of looseness so that you can do that, but that's that. The single supplement for the single room is $400, but I've been known to leave less than that a little once in a while. I shouldn't even say that. Anyway, so we can always talk. The other thing is I do have one set of accommodations that are a little higher level than the others. So I do have we'll call it a premium, what do you call it? Level, I guess. And so, that's a little bit more too. And we're working that out right now because it's a brand new place and it's costing me more. So, we'll have that. Let's see here. Okay. Are the classes all in one location and in walking distance from B&Bs? The whole town is in walking distance from itself. So, for example, I used to say that the town is, like a square mile. It's only like 1 square mile. Yeah, baloney. I finally, when these apps came out where you can like put a point here and a point here and see how far, I'm like, it's maybe a half a square mile. Everything from the center of town to the top of town is, I'm going to say, the equivalent of maybe 3 blocks. the top of town to the bottom of town is probably the same thing, about 3 blocks, to the other side of the bottom of town down to the soccer field, maybe it's 5 blocks. I mean, nothing is far. Some of the cooking classes are up at the top of town at the bakery. And I got to stress this. Nobody ever needs to worry about, is it too much walking? Some people like to walk and they walk. And you can also go for a walk if you want to go for a walk. But I always have a car in town. And if someone needs a ride, whether it's to the cooking class, whether it's down to the cemetery, which I'm going to come back to in a second, but anywhere that's a little bit further, I got you covered. So don't even worry about it. For people, and everybody enjoys this. And I have to tell you, I've taken people, parts of my groups are people that are of heritage of the town where other people in the group are not. Everybody enjoys it though. The people of heritage of the town find things that they're so thrilled about. And the people who aren't of heritage of the town, the groups are always so close knit somehow or another. I've been so blessed with wonderful people that they're always so happy for the people that find their heritage that they're like, wow, they're so happy for them. So we do go to the town hall. I will take you, either myself or one of my other interpreters, and take you to the town hall to look up any of your history if you want to find it. I do have a genealogist on staff per se, a friend of mine who goes back and forth as well. And she is a wizard. And so if you want to find any of your family history, she can do that. And even if you're Italian from another town and you need some help, we can help you do that too. So Brenda is just like, she's a magician when it comes to genealogy. So we help you do that even before we go. And then we can also, and like once you're there, if you want, say, a copy of an old birth certificate of a grandparent or a great grandparent, and you want it for just for your Bible, your family Bible, or if you want it for helping you get citizenship, if you want dual citizenship, we can help you do that. We also will take you down to the cemetery. The cemetery is a cool site. So it is part of the history of the town. So even people who are not of heritage of the town, like taking a quick little visit down to the cemetery, see how they do them, completely different. And you know what's funny is when I'm in cemeteries here in America, I don't know what it is, but like sometimes I'm a little creeped out. Because when I was a kid, we were always hidden. This stuff was hidden from us. We were sheltered. And so I grew up very afraid of that. Now I'm just like, okay, we're all here and then we're all going to go there. I hope there. Anyway, but the cemetery over there, maybe it's because all the names around me are all familiar and comfortable, but I just feel it's a very serene place. I just love it. So anyway, so we'll take you there as well. So yes, everything's walking distance from the B&Bs. I also like when I send out the information via email, I do have a little questionnaire that goes with the registration form. And, so I ask you, if anybody's got allergies, food issues, special diets, needs a refrigerator for medicine, needs this, that, or the other thing, whatever it might be, we can take care of you. I have taken vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free, what else is there? I don't know. One gal that came with me she was almost all blind. She had only vision in the front, and she had her walking stick, and man, she went on hikes. She was amazing. So, we are here to take whoever wants to go to see a beautiful place, whether it's to learn your heritage or to just see what real life should be like. This is the trip. I'm going to be bold here and tell you that this is some of the things people have told me. People have told me it's been the best trip they've ever been on. And I got that from one couple who's been to over 80 countries, said it was one of the best trips they've ever been on. I've had other people tell me it was the best trip they've ever been on. I've had people tell me that I should charge more. How you like that one? I think that's a great compliment. I've had a lot of people tell me that. I've had people tell me it was life-changing. People have left there with new friends. I always start a WhatsApp group on the phone. So it's a chat group, and the groups still chat after, how much time. I'm going to read you hold on. I'm going to read you something that somebody wrote to me last summer while I was still there. Let's see. Where did it go? Don't go anywhere. Just the three of us. Here it is. Okay. This was a message that somebody sent to me. I'm walking in the piazza by myself, walking down the street, and I get this text message. And so I read it and I started crying. Dorina, everyone asks me if I enjoyed my trip and how I liked Italy. But I can tell you that my trip here has made me grow tremendously as a person. Not just my human person, but my soul. I don't know how to express my gratitude to you, your family, your whole town. Thank you to all of you from my heart and my soul. And please try as best you can to express my gratitude to all of Roseto. This is someone who is not of Roseton history, just someone who came on my trip. That I started crying. And I was like, I wrote back, I'm like, thanks a lot for making me cry in the middle of the piazza, you know? That's all I needed. So anyway, I feel like you know, I got goosebumps. I always get goosebumps when I read that thing. I've read it to a few people, and it just, to me, that to me makes me happy. That makes me happy to take people on these trips. Okay, see these two pictures behind me? Watch this. I'm just going to pull them down because I put them up with tape just to make them look cute back there. This is my street. Okay. So, you know, you walk down. So walking down, let's see this, if I can do it the right way. Walk down the street, down to the piazza. My house is right. Whoops, wrong side. My house on this side, just right about there. You can't see it right here, but anyway, this is my cousin Marie. This is my cousin Maria's balcony, and she's right across from my balcony, which is over here somewhere. Anyway, so that's one. Let's see if I can put this back up. Boop. I don't know if it's going to stay. It's going to fall down. Watch. This is the view as you're entering town. I always like stopping at this tree. The village, well, you can't really see it from here, but anyway, it's back in this little gully over here. But this is the mountains, and it's just, to me, I don't know, it makes me happy. So that's where I take people, and that. So where's some more? It was your street too. You're right, Marianne. So I think I've answered all the questions that are on here. Now, I am available all the time. So once you've got all this info, actually, I'm going to very quickly throw you a couple of things here. So you can go to, well, first thing you can do is you can go to my website. You can go to my website, and all the trips are there under the tab that says Italy trips. And you can sign up for a trip. What happens when you sign up for a trip? Don't be afraid of that. Basically, you're signing up to have me call you, and we talk about it for you. I talk about all the dates are there, so you can kind of pick a date. Right now on the website, I have dates through the fall of 24. So for next year and a half, I've got the dates up there. I do still have space for this. This is my, okay, I keep a book like this, okay? Because to me, it's so much easier than clicking, drives me crazy. Okay, I do have some more space in my June 23rd to July 3rd trip. I have had people call me less than 2 weeks before. Do you still have room? I said, yep. Okay, let's go. So I do still have room. And sometimes the best trips are those last minute decisions. So, come on with me. I challenge you. In fact, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, because I actually have some space in this group. If anybody wants to go June 23rd, if there will be no single supplement, and I will give another discount on top of that. So if somebody comes who's a one person, there'll be no single supplement, and let's see, and I'm going to knock another $200 off. So basically, for a single person, it would be a $600 discount. If it's a couple, I will knock off. You know what? I'll knock off. Let's see. Let me see what I can do here. Let's play with the calculator. What can I do if you sign up? Because you're watching today, if you want to go in June, let's see. Got the phone here with the calculator. Let's see. Tell you what, If anybody wants to go in June, so if it's a single person, it's going to be 600 off. It's going to be the 400 single supplement, no charge, and then an extra 200 off, so 600 total. And if it's a couple, I will give you 300 off of each of your things, which is also $600. So 300 off each person. So basically, I'm offering a $600 discount to anybody who wants to come on this June 23rd to July 3rd trip coming up a month from now, a little less than a month from now. But still, like I said, I've had people less than 2 weeks out jump on the trip, and you know what? They weren't sorry. In fact, let me tell you what, I had somebody jump on the trip recently that was, let me think how many days it was. I was just leaving. It was less than a week before. I'm coming. I'm like, okay, I'll see you Friday. I was leaving. I left Monday and they were there. So I got there Tuesday and the group got there. So that they called me while I was at the airport leaving myself. So anyway, so anything can happen. So look up Dorina'sKitchen.com. You can also, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you my phone number. Hold on. It is, if you're calling from far away, +1 301 917. I've got my computer up on a box so that it's more, and so it's kind of funny, hard to 4727. Okay. So you can call me on, oops, let's do this better. A banner, and here we go. All right. You can call me on WhatsApp. If you're, like, for example, if you're in Canada or you're anywhere else, you can call me on WhatsApp. You can call me, and I'm in the States. I'm in Delaware, Eastern Standard Time. So realize that right now it is 7 p.m. for me, or 7:42. But I'm up till midnight. I'm up early in the morning. So if you're not sure, if you think you're bothering me, text me first and then call me. I'll tell you, sure, call me now. So honest to goodness, $600 discount on anybody that wants to come in June. I have, I think, 2 spots left for July. So I'll take 2 people, and you know what? I'll even give you the same discount. So for this summer trips, so that's June 23rd to July 3rd or June 30th to July 10th. I have 2 slots for July, the June 30th to July 10th, and I have a few more for the June trip. So if you want to go, you got a discount. You're not going to get this again because I can't afford to do that next year. But since we're so close and there's some empty spots, I'm going to give you a break. So, but that's only if this is, because I will tell you this, and the reason I'm doing this is because the flights right now, so people who bought their flights already this year, all flights are a little high. In fact, they've been high for the last 3 years. But basically, I'm doing this to help you offset the cost of your flight. So in the end, your trip's going to cost the same as it would if you'd have bought your tickets 3 months ago. So if anybody's watching who already paid regular price, the thing is, the tickets right now are costing more. So basically, we're just offsetting the price so that you're paying the same price as everybody else. So that's what I'm going to do to help you go. So that's that. Any more questions? Let me get out of this thing. I see some more comments. Hold on. Okay. Let me back up here. Okay. Will your mobile phone work in Roseto? What about internet connection? Okay, good question. Okay, mobile phones. There is each phone service has different, overseas plans. I have T-Mobile. T-Mobile, I can tell you, has free unlimited data, free unlimited texting, and 25-cent a minute calls. But since you have unlimited data, you can use WhatsApp to make phone calls. So like I tell my kids all know that they have to have their WhatsApp on when I'm over there because I call them on WhatsApp. So if you have kids or family members that you need to be able to get a hold of, then you make sure they download WhatsApp onto their smartphone and you can call them for free because if you have T-Mobile, you have free data. So you call them using the data as your internet connection and you can make phone calls for nothing. If you have Verizon or AT&T or whatever else, some of them have like a $10 a day deal or they have a monthly plan. Sometimes the monthly plan is cheaper than the $10 a day for 10 days. So you got to decide, but you need to call your server to find out what their deals are. But they do work most of the time in town. The bars have Wi-Fi. Well, the one bar has Wi-Fi. The other bar says they have Wi-Fi. It sucks. If ever any emergencies, I have Wi-Fi at my house. that's strong. All the B&Bs have Wi-Fi, so you always have it in your rooms and in the B&Bs. So you've got that too. Let's see. Teresa, hello. On your bucket list, want to learn about the Rinaldos, Rinaldi, and my heritage. Let me tell you, I got some Rinaldis in my family. So, and I don't know if, well, I definitely know people that know that whole line of history, so we can definitely help you with that. Carmela. Yes, we will talk to you about Naples and Amalfi. Pia, are your prices the same in summer, fall dates? Yes, they are, because I have my prices. My prices don't change in the village. They're just there. They don't go up and down. And it's just considering that it's like $360 a day for my trip. If you were to go to Rome or Amalfi or Capri, you'd be paying that just for the hotel. So you're getting a heck of a lot more. And again, the trips, everything is we do different things in the different seasons. Some of the stuff is the same though. Like for example, initially I only did the winery in the fall because that's when I did it the first time in the fall. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be part of my fall trip. But for Pete's sakes, they're open all year round and it's so much fun. I'm like, why do I got to deprive somebody of the winery? Because that is awesome. So anyway, so we do enough of the same stuff, but enough different things. So I've had people come in different seasons so that they could see some different stuff. But the other stuff is great. So yes, the prices are the same fall and spring and summer. Stop, I'm killing you. You don't have your passport back yet. Where is it? Come on, let's go. How much is my trip? Okay, I think I just answered that. 8675309. Thanks, Carter. Your husband's family's from Roseto, last name Rinaldi. They settled in the Washington, D.C. area and Steubenville, Ohio. Okay, then I have D.C. family that's Rinaldi too. We might be related. We'll have to figure that out. Gabriella, hello. Yes, you do. The Barbosa family definitely does. And I know all of you, and that's my sister, your mother and me, so we got to figure that out. Connie, yes, you're planning on making a trip. Awesome. Okay. Thank you, Pia. Yes, I know my trip is not expensive at all. Doggone it. So I think it's the best trip out there. I love it. Listen, Roseto's my favorite place in the whole world. I still have my phone number up here. It seems so. So I'm taking it down. So if you didn't write my number down, write it down because or just message me or email me. You can also always email me at Dorina's Kitchen. Everything is Dorina's Kitchen. Dorina's Kitchen at gmail.com. So that's that. Let's see here. What else? Let me see if there's anything else I need. Like I said, don't forget you can go to the website. And on the website and on my Dorina's Kitchen page, and if you just Google Dorina's Kitchen, you will find me all over the place. So, that's that. Okay. So, I've pretty much, I think, told you just about everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I do send out, so with my email that I send out, I do send a tip sheet that has everything about my trips. So, once you get that, then it has all the details about cash. Okay, how do you get your euros? How do you deal with your phone? So we got a little bit of phone question answered here. Phones, electronics, what else? What to pack for the different seasons, and all that stuff. So I give you all those suggestions and that's that. So I see there's still quite a few people logged on right now. Would you all do me a little favor and please say hello in the chat? Please do me a favor. Tell me where you're watching from. Put my number up again. But of course, I will put my number up again. Let's see. Where is it? Here it is. Call Dorina. Wait a minute. Let's see here. There's my phone number. That's me, Dorina. But please make a comment. Okay, so basically what you're doing when you're commenting, you're making me happy, okay? Because then I go back and I see all these comments and it makes me excited. Hey, Barbara. and Brenda and Rita. And so it makes me happy. Sprocky's in Indianapolis. Do you know Sprocky is only a Rosetan name, not anywhere else. That is strictly, if your name's Sprocky, you come from Roseto. So just saying. There's lots of names in Italy that you will find in lots of different places. Like there is, hi Tony and Bethany, I'm just down the road. There's some names like you'll find Falcone in different places. That's kind of like a Smith name. You'll find Rossi and Russo, and you'll find a bunch of other different names that you'll find in other towns because people moved around. But Sprocchi is specifically a Roseto name, and some names in other towns are the same thing. They know that you're that name, you're from that town. So, yeah, I know because they all came from Roseto. So. Okay, the price this year for 2023 is $36.95. There's a $400 single supplement, but if you're coming in June or July, so these trips that are just coming up, I still have a little bit of space left. First come, first serve. I'm giving you a discount to offset the cost of the current, because they literally just in the past few days went. So basically I'm offsetting that cost for you so that you can go and it will cost you the same amount as everybody else on the trip because the airfare is higher. So that's that. Okay. Allergies, my nose is itching, so please excuse me for itching it. I don't want to be gross, but anyway, let me have some water. So please say hello. Let me know where you're calling from. Let me know. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think after you've just heard me babble on for the last 45 minutes. Tell me what you're thinking about this. Tell me if you think it sounds like something that you'd be interested in. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but tell me I'm crazy. I don't care. But please give me some of your thoughts. If you've been on my trip before, put in a comment and tell the rest of the world how you liked it. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Deb. It was a trip of a lifetime. It was. Oh, hello, Fiorella. Where are you? Entire family's in the Abruzzo region. Born there, miss it. And you're in Bath, Pennsylvania. Wow, cool. Thank you, Fiorella, for being on. And you know what? Abruzzo's just north of us. So we're at the top of Puglia. So then, of course, there's Molise right above us. And Molise is like, I always tell people, it's kind of like Delaware. It's like little teeny, like Rhode Island. It's a little teeny weeny region, just wedged between the top of Puglia and Abruzzo. So, but that whole area right there, we all live the same way. We have similar foods. We cook, we cook from the heart. We live in community. So, it's a beautiful thing. From Vegas. I didn't know that's where you were, Mary Lee. Cool. Carmela, I can't wait to take you too. I can't believe it's not till September, but anyway, we will be doing. I'm glad I warm your Italian heart though, Fiorella. That warms my heart for you saying that. So, so that's that. But, so, and also let me just put this out there too. Anybody who comes with me to Roseto, let's say you're from somewhere else. I've had people who come on my trip, but their families are from somewhere else in Italy. If it's somewhere in our region, and even if it's not, I have assisted people in getting to their town. So if it's someplace close by and you want to skip a day of our trip and I can send you there with a driver and an interpreter, I will do that. If you want to, most people, what they do is extend their trip either before or after. And on the way in or on the way out, we'll do a few extra days. Some people just do Amalfi Coast and Naples. I love Naples. I'm going to come back to Naples in a minute. Hold on. Don't leave. If you're on, let me tell you about Naples. But I've sent people to their towns, with a driver and an interpreter for the day, or I can arrange for you to get there and spend a few days there. And I will contact the people in that town and find somebody in that town that can show you around. So I can help you do all of that stuff. And now let me get back to Naples. Naples. I love Naples. Don't let anybody tell you that Naples is not a good place to go. Mahwah, New Jersey. Wow. Okay, hold on. I'll be back to you in a minute. But Naples is, they say it's dangerous. Let me tell you, you've ever been to New York or downtown DC, Southeast DC, or the harbor in Baltimore or whatever? Newark, New Jersey. Okay, there's dangerous cities and dangerous parts of cities everywhere in the world. Sure, you're going to go hang out by the docks in any city? No. Okay. Downtown Naples is beautiful. It's vibrant. The people are so nice and so friendly and so like wrap your arms around. I love Naples. And it's just a cool city. So I've made some really good friends there that have little hotels and little B&Bs and some restaurants and some little shops and all this kind of stuff. And I've got the best drivers that do the Amalfi Coast tour, that'll take you to Pompeii. That'll just be taxi. I've got great taxi guys. So I can hook you up with Naples. I can hook you up in your village, wherever it might be. So now let me see. Somebody said something else. Oh yes. Rita's telling you have to see this beautiful town because her family's from there. Your grandparents were born in Roseto. Wait a minute. Oh wow, that's lots. Another Sprocchi. Okay, see, the Sprocchi is strictly Roseto name. You're definitely Rosetan if you have Sprocchi as your name. Wait, hold on. Let's see. There was something else I saw. I'm reading questions here. Excuse me for ignoring you guys there for a second. Oh, Mahwah, New Jersey. Born in Roseto, settled in Michigan. Wow. Okay, Kathy. Well, I think you need to come to Roseto. And I have Anna convinced now just to find the time. It's only 10 days, Anna, but it'll be the 10 best days of your life. Okay. Let's see. Well, okay. So Shirley, so you're in the planning stages. You're from Connecticut, originally from Maryland, I was born in DC. So Shirley, what are the Rosetan names in your family? Okay, Tony, you were born near Napoli, la più bella città del mondo. Yes, città. My town is the più bel paese nel mondo. Okay, so I'm in the most beautiful town. Actually, it's one of the Borghi più belli d'Italia. So Borghi più belli d'Italia is a title that's put onto some towns that apply and they get evaluated. One of the most beautiful towns in Italy. So that's my town. But Napoli is amazing. Oh, let me tell you, I was just in Napoli. I came home 2 days before the team came home and they won the Scudetto. So that means that they basically won. How do you put it in English? The Italian Cup. It's like the Italian. They won the championship in Italy, and the entire city of Naples was just covered in blue and white banners everywhere, streamers across the streets from balcony to balcony. They were from the street down the balconies down to the sidewalk. I mean, flags, you name it. There was everything. I get goosebumps right now. I just got goosebumps, or maybe it's the fan. I don't know. But anyway, it is really, 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 it was beautiful. I didn't used to be a Napoli fan, but I think my husband and I, over this past year or two, and all the trips I've taken to Naples and how much I've fallen in love with the city itself and the people there. And of course, I love soccer because I played soccer. I coach soccer. Soccer has a very, very, very deep spot in my heart. Anyway, so I'm become a Napoli fan. So when we left Italy last month, it was, like I said, it was just before the team was coming home. The town's all decked out. And I said to Pasquale, Pasquale's my husband, in case those of you don't know. And I said to him, I got to get a flag. I need a Napoli flag because I have Juve. I have everybody. I mean, I'll tell you the Juventus story in a minute in case anybody knows that of who they are. But I went crazy trying to find a Napoli flag and I found one. Napoli flag is now in my room. Okay, it's not hanging up yet, but it's going to be hanging up. I'm going to save it for the next time they win. I'm going to hang it off my balcony here and, make my neighbors say, what do they do with the big flag on their balcony? I'm going to say, I'm putting it up. I hope to meet you one day too. Oh, there you go. There you go. Let's go. Andiamo. Sono pronto. Ti faccio vedere il mio paese e dopo andiamo al tuo paese. All right. I am one of your interpreters, by the way. So yes, I do speak Italian. It's not the best. I don't have perfect grammar. And they always know I speak with a perfect accent on my words. My problem is that I still have an American cadence to my speech, and that's how they always know I'm American. So my goal in life right now, I'm working on it to get rid of my American accent. But you know, a lot of it is my exuberance that no matter what, they know they know I'm American. In Italy, they call me the big American family because I've got 6 kids. Over here, they call me the big Italian family. I'm like kind of like, where am I? Who am I? Where am I from? But anyway, all right. So, do we have any more questions? Any more questions? Oh, you know what? Real quick, while I'm waiting for you to ask me questions, because I'm sure if you jumped on late and you have a question, please don't feel funny. Yes, you can watch this over because it's recorded and it's gonna be on my page so you can rewatch it. Yes, yeah, I'm just telling you this and you're asking the question, there will be a video. But if you have a question right now and I'm still here, I'm more than happy to answer it. Real quick, so my kids are all soccer players. And when the first time I took them to Italy, my oldest were 10, and then they were 10, 8, 6, 4, and newborn, or 3 and newborn. So anyway, when we're in America, it doesn't matter who's playing. So I'm sitting here talking about Napoli. I'm sitting here talking about Juventus. These are Italian soccer teams. Well, people are very, very diehard fans over there of their team. They're very, very, very loyal. But when we're in America, no matter who's playing, as long as it's an Italian team playing versus somebody else, we cheer for the Italian team. It could be Napoli, it could be Roma, it could be Juventus, whoever. So I take my kids to Italy for the first time as a family, and they're 10 years old, my big boys, and I gave them some money. It was market day, and there's the booth that has all the toys and the soccer jerseys and the games and whatever, and the bracelets. I'm standing in the middle of Piazza, and my cousin, who was president of the town soccer at the time, his dad was president and he was on the team. So they're big soccer people. So I'm talking to him, and my son Nico comes over to me. Nico and Enzo come, but Nico's got 2 bracelets on. One of them is Juventus and one of them is Inter Milan. Well, my cousin right away saw these 2 bracelets. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" In Italian. And he's like, "What? I like both of them." He goes, "You can't like both of them. They're enemies." So Nico looked at his 2 bracelets, and Leo, my number 3 son, after the twins, number 3, 2/3. Anyway, Leo's favorite color was blue. So Nico looks at the 2 bracelets. He took off the blue one, Inter Milan. And he goes, "Well, here, Leo, blue's your favorite color." And then Nico was born. This is how Nico and Enzo were born Juventus fans. That's how they became Juventus, and they've been ever since. But honestly, and I've always kind of just gone with the kids, but because me, I just love soccer and I'll watch anybody. But I think I've become a Napoli fan. I have to say it. So that's that. Okay, really quick. Okay, so you asked about the video. That will be Rosato and Rosetta Falcone Sprocchi d'Amico and Davanzo. Okay, so those I know those names, and we can definitely help you, track some more stuff down. Part of the stuff, some people already know some of their history, but part of the fun is finding out which lines you're in and if there's anybody in town you might be related to. That's what's always fun. Oh, Mary Lee, very nice I'm so happy to have you here. Does anybody, so thank you for being here. And anybody who wants to rewatch this, as soon as we end this broadcast, it will be live on the page again. Does anybody want to come on live here and, what do you call it? Does anybody want to come on live and be on screen with me and ask me a question in person? Anybody? If you do, just let me know. You got about 2 minutes. Oh, well, those are some more. Iannuzzi, Capone, Cascioli. Yep, know all those names. So, anybody want to come on and ask a question in person? Or just share the screen with me? Come on. All right. Bunch of chickens. No, you know what I love about Italy? The chickens. You will hear dogs bark. You will hear chickens. You'll hear roosters. You know what? Be prepared, because we're out in the country. We're in the mountains where it was a farming village. This is what it always was. I'm taking my phone number down right now because it's annoying me. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, We have gone 1 hour and 4 minutes. I was planning on doing about an hour. So unless anybody has any more questions, I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your evening. But I thank you all for being here. I hope I answered any questions that you might have about the trips. And if you have any more, feel free to text me, call me, message me, email me, Dorina's Kitchen, everything. You can find all my contact information on Dorina'sKitchen.com or on my Facebook page of Dorina's Kitchen as well. So if you find all that stuff, you can definitely find me. Okay. So have a wonderful trip. Have a wonderful trip. I'm taking the trip. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, if you want to go, I am willing to cut the price on your trip to offset the airfares right now. So you would not, even though you go and might have a nervous breakdown about the cost of the airfare, don't have a nervous breakdown. I will offset the cost of your airfare by giving you a discount on the trip. So you're still going to pay the same as anybody else on the trip. Okay. So that's for the June 23rd to July 3rd trip, or the June 30th to July 10th. I only have a few spots, but if somebody wants them, I got you. I never, ever want it to be cost prohibitive for someone to take this trip. So I'll always try to help you out. So if I have to cut some of mine so that you can pay the airfare, then so be it. I will do it. Okay. So book is closed for the moment, but I'm ready. So let's see who the first person, any day trips to San Giovanni Rotondo. Yes. So that was one of the things that I mentioned earlier. That's on our fall trip. And sometimes on the spring trip, if it's too cold to go to the beach day, then we go to San Giovanni Rotondo in Monte Sant'Angelo. If you want to go there on the summer trip, when we don't go there, I can still arrange for that to happen. So yes, that's your answer. Okay, you're interested in Roseto with 4 others, would like to see more than in Puglia. Well, we show you some Puglia, and if you want to see more, like I said, call me and we can make some arrangements for you. Okay, the prices again, last minute. Okay, $36.95 is the base price. Single supplement is $400. That is from the minute you land to the minute you leave. 10 days, everything included. If you want to see everything that's included, go back to the beginning of this video in a few minutes when we're done, and that's that. Okay, so $36.95 plus $400 for one person, or not, or $36.95 per person if it's a couple or whatever, however many people. But I am willing to give you a discount if you want to come on this June or July trip to offset the cost of the airfare. So let's see who calls me first. Tell you what, first person that calls is getting a little surprise. So I'll see you guys later. Buonanotte. Well, actually, it's not even buonasera. It's still evening. Buonanotte, you say just before you go to bed. Buonasera is pretty much from 3 or 4 in the afternoon throughout the evening. So check that out. Learning a word here or there, and continue to, if you all would do me the favor of going on to all my social media and please like and subscribe, watch some of my videos for me so I can make that all work too. But these are the 2 things I do. I cook online, and I am trying to get the world to be a little better by helping families get back to the table so we can stay united and revive the Roseto effect. Okay, so come be a part of it. Come and be an ambassador for the Roseto effect. Here we go. Let's do that. Boom. Yeah, look, I'm pretty cool, huh? So let's revive the Roseto effect. And the first step is by coming there with me and seeing what it's all about and sharing it with all the people that you know and love. Okay, so buonasera, everybody, and I will see you all soon, hopefully. Ciao, ciao.